can't spend all my time teaching white girls how to hold a badminton racket. I'm gonna be a radical.
Didn't know that was a career choice.
It will be.
There is a very good chance, you know, Emmy nominee Moses Ingram from her role as Jolene in The Queen's Gambit. Well, now the Baltimore native is starring in a new Apple TV Plus thriller set in her own hometown, Lady in the Lake. Based on Laura Lippman's best-selling novel of the very same name, the series tells the story of two women in the 1960s, played by Ingram and Natalie Portman, whose lives converge after the disappearance of a young girl. Ingram's character, Cleo, is struggling to provide for her family, and in this scene, records a powerful speech for a politician with questionable ethics.
When I was a little girl, my daddy used to say, we don't dream for ourselves. We dream for those folks that aren't here yet. And I guess he was right, because I haven't dreamed for myself in a long time. But I got two boys at home. And it seems the world has given me a choice. I can hold on to my dignity, or I can provide for them. Just don't seem to let me do both.
Moses Ingram joins us now. Moses, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here. The first 2 episodes drop on July 19th. People are going to gobble this up. This is a propulsive thriller. It's a great mystery as well, and it is set in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. You are from Baltimore. It was filmed in Baltimore. What has that been like to go back?
You know, it's super special. It's really divine. I think for a lot of years, I told myself if I needed anything to happen for me or in my life, I had to leave Baltimore, I had to go somewhere else, just for the biggest moment in my career to bring me back home in such a beautiful way. So it feels really meant to be for me.
I love that. Now that, as we said, this Lady in the Lake, it's inspired, it takes place in the 1960s, but it's inspired by two real cases that occurred then, one involving an 11-year-old Jewish girl, and the other, the mysterious death of Shirley Parker, who inspired your character in this series. Tell us about that and what resonated with you with this.
I mean, definitely. I think it's a story that stuck with the city even like long after it happened. I think the thing that's most paramount is to be respectful of the life that was lost, even if it is sort of an amalgamation of sorts. But yeah, I think that's the thing I try to hold truest to.
You know, this explores, you know, issues like race, anti-Semitism, and the more things change, the more they remain the same. Issues that we're still dealing with today.
Yeah.
What do you hope people take away from this?
That it's so important that we keep moving forward, you know? The world was a really crazy place, and if we're not cognizant of where we are and what's happening, we're in real danger of moving backwards. So progress, for sure.
Speaking of moving backwards, I want to talk about the past. Little Moses, age 10, taking acting lessons. Was that at a camp, some kind of a program?
At school.
At school, really? So what was it, you think?
Oh, look at that picture.
Was it an after-school program?
Oh, my God, where did you find that? That is not one of the ones I gave.
Oh, wow.
You know, we got sources.
We have researchers
You know what I mean?
for
We
that.
reached out to a few people
That's
in
Facebook.
Baltimore.
What do you think it was for that little girl what grabbed you when it came to acting? Why'd you love it right away?
It's the first place that I ever felt seen. It's truly like church to me, and it's something that I didn't really, in the beginning, ever need to work at. It was so innocent, you know? I wish it could stay that way.
Yeah.
You know, once money is involved, it's not as innocent as it once was.
Yeah.
But I still love it in the way that I did.
Yeah, and I mean, you've been working at it for a long time, but you actually had to work at a lot of odd jobs before you really made it. So what were some of those jobs? What did you end up doing?
I worked at the Meyerhoff for 4 years, which is a concert hall in Baltimore. I worked at Amazon. I worked at AMC Theaters, which was really fun. I worked at Planet Fitness.
Wow.
Where else did I work?
So the message for those who are struggling out there trying to make it is you gotta
You really
do it.
You really have to be your biggest champion. Yeah. Absolutely.
Isn't that fitting, though? You worked at Amazon and you deliver on screen every single time.
You ate that.
See what I did there?
I like that, Nate.
Got bars. No, all jokes aside, you mentioned the innocence and you looked at that photo of younger you, what would you say to her?
One day at a time.
Yeah.
One day at a time. You know, I think back then I felt like I needed to do so much front loading if I was gonna be somebody at all. But it's really just one day at a time.
One day at a time.
Yeah.
There's because the series takes place in Baltimore. There's a lot of Baltimore-ese in it. There's some accents.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I mean, yours is natural, but did you have to teach some on the
The
set?
non-Baltimoreans.
Can you teach us some?
Yeah, I feel like it's just certain sound placements. It's also two different accents in the city.
Very much
There's
so.
my side of the city and there's the other side of the city that I'm not really from. But it's like certain sounds, like frog and dog.
Right.
Okay.
Come frog and Doug.
Yeah.
Frog and Dib.
Frog.
Frog and
Thank you.
Dib.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
Do people say the I in Baltimore, or they say Baltimore?
Well, it's actually a replacement, so maybe like a W instead.
Yeah.
It's more like
W.
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
All right.
Baltimore.
Moses
Baltimore.
Ingram, thank you very much. Lady in the Lake on Apple TV Plus starting Friday, July 19th.